angels, it's me. I just wanted to come here today and share two of my favorite oils for honoring the body, and it's something that I do each afternoon, just before, I guess, kind of in between the time George gets home and the time that we have dinner. And I've chosen to use these two oils at this time because I get a little bit tired this time, I guess, in the afternoon, being a mum and also working. And I find that when I don't use these two oils, this one I actually add into each afternoon's aromatic dressing for the last week or so. And this one is the DDR Prime that I take in the capsules, and I'll speak into those a little bit more in a minute. But I generally do it around about this time because, as I said, I get quite tired, and I feel like when I don't boot up and really honour the body with these particular oils, that my choices for dinner may steer a little bit, and I don't really feed my body as well as I possibly could. And when I am aromatically dressing in the grapefruit, which is known as an oil that honors the body, I definitely do make better choices for our meals, and it's just something really special that I think every woman could do. And also if you're a mother, because often we're the ones that are planning the meals in the home. So what I'm going to do today is speak into these two oils a little bit for you, for those that don't have them. And we all know I'm a bit of a geek when it comes to honouring the body, the physical body, and also, I guess, studying cells and working in regenerating and supporting the cells. These two oils are extremely important because in this day and age, there's a lot of conditioning, and our lifestyles are quite busy, and what we've started to manifest in our lives is we're really starting to feed the taste buds, and we're not gifting the body the food that it deserves. Our body is a piece of machinery, and unless we're feeding it the right foods, it's not really going to take us through life. And what happens, I guess, is what I see a lot when I'm working with clients with acidosis and levels of disease, is that their diets are really out of whack, and it's manifested for a long time, and unfortunately their quality of lifestyle is affected. So, you know, just really wanting to harness all of this information, and sometimes it's just a little bit of a reset for us, and to get back to basics and to be inspired by some words that somebody else shares, to really understand why we actually sit down and plate up, and why we eat, you know, morning, noon and night. It is actually supposed to be to feed our body, but we have really steered away from that, and we're treating ourselves with foods, and then that can create addictions as well, and then with that it's a little bit of a ripple and compound effect, and it does affect our physical health. I've had a quite full-on couple of weeks with Cellular and her kindy, and a lot of you have seen that little adventure that I went on as far as the kindergarten, kind of building an unhealthy relationship between food and children. So I did approach the school about that, and we have some changes coming in there, and yeah, I think it's really been then that I've really been drawn back to the grapefruit. So I just wanted to I suppose keep things very simple and grab both my books. I've got the emotional one here and my favorite Bible. Can you see that? The Essential Life book. And just read a little bit about both of these oils. So I'll start with the Cellular Complex, the DDR Prime. I choose to have it this way. It is the pure oil in here, and I pop it into some capsules. So 3 drops every day. Every afternoon I pop it into the capsules, I swallow it with some water. The reason I've chosen to speak into it on a physical level with the Essential Life book, and also on the emotional level with the Emotions book, is because when we're working with an oil, even though I am using this oil every single day to serve my cells, so obviously on a physical level it is going to be working on my emotional body as well. And that's why I think a lot of you notice these oils are so powerful, because they work holistically, and not always are we really acknowledging our emotional body, but we're definitely not understanding how to work on it. And that's why these oils are so beautiful, because they do a lot of magic underneath. So I will just pull out this book and I'll show you the page. this one, this one. So it's a gorgeous book. So it's regenerating, corrective and repairing the DDR prime. It's a cellular complex blend, and the main ingredients in it are frankincense, wild orange, lemongrass, thyme, summer savory, clove and aioli. The top uses are for nerve damage. So we apply this topically to the bottoms of our feet, and we can also put it at the bottom of our spine as well, and we can take it internally. It is quite a strong oil, so again, sort of being a little bit of a nerd, I always encourage just to wean ourselves onto these oils because they are so high vibrational. And if our cellular vibration's quite low and we're starting to really take internally such powerful oils, it can raise our vibration up very quickly, and sometimes we're not always ready for that because obviously working with the emotional body too, it can bring up some things that we didn't realize that we kind of were still storing inside. Kind of not being compliant here, but I'm just really reading from the book. It does address cancers and tumours as well. So I guess if I have clients coming in with high-end acidosis and types of cancers, this is a first and foremost for me. And it just really draws me back to prevention and living in prevention and really having that in our body to counteract any of those degenerate cells that are flowing around and really keeping on top of everything before we're actually at that stage. Again, it just says to apply to the feet, and we can take internally and we can dilute it down to the spine as well. For thyroid and cellular repair, autoimmune disorders, viruses and fungal conditions. Cellular damage is from free radicals is an underlying contributor to many of today's illnesses, it says. This powerful antioxidant blend will protect your cellular health as it protects long-term wellness. So that's what it says in our physical book. And over here, can you see that? It's called the DNA Repairing Blend, the Oil of Transformation. So if I can just sit that there and I'll read. DNA Repairing Blend works emotionally as well as physical with the cycles of life and death and personal transformation. So that's also on a cellular level as well. We do have cell life and cell death. By putting off the old, we become free to experience the new. This is transformation. The DNA repairing blend supports the body's sick or damaged cells to either transition to death or to transform, repair and renew. Through the help and support of this blend, individuals can assist their bodies, their cells, their energy and their emotions in returning to a balanced, healthy, authentic state. And I guess this is why I said I really noticed not actually taking this oil every single day. And the following day, I noticed this oil the first time that I took it. I noticed the next morning when I woke up, I just didn't have that brain fog, and I guess I didn't really get that tired state that I generally get in the afternoons as well. So anybody that is really feeling or resonating with that, this would be awesome for you too. The DNA repairing blend is particularly supportive in releasing all types of negative family patterns which are recorded in the body itself, and they're all recorded in our DNA. So particular negative patterns that my grandmother, for example, may have carried would then have been passed down to my mum, and unless she addressed those issues and transformed those cells, those same DNA patterns are in my body. So it kind of works quite deep. It is especially suited for those who struggle with debilitating circumstances as it helps to relieve feelings of doubt, despair, disbelief and burden. It teaches individuals to reclaim their life and energy and to believe that change is possible. The DNA repairing blend supports the process of regaining health and vitality by encouraging the release of the old. The birth of the new and the cycles of life, death and rebirth on a cellular level. So beautiful. So I've read out the ingredients. The negative emotions that it addresses, obviously debilitation, discouraged, toxic, stuck, burdened by family patterns, and the positive properties are repairing, balancing, transformational, rebirthing, vitality, healthy and opening to change. So when we are at that particular stage where we are noticing those things, and we could be noticing it on a physical level because we are struggling with our health, I think it's really important to speak into these issues and to just remind ourselves of the pH system that goes on in our body. So we either have an alkaline state or an acidic state, and everything that we put in, on and around our body is either alkaline or acidic as well. And the beautiful thing about really starting to embody the essential oils is that they're all alkaline. These plants were put here to coexist with us for a reason, and at exactly the same time that humans were surviving on this earth. They are God's medicine and they're Mother Nature's pharmacy. So it's really quite sad in a way that we've come so far in so many ways, but we've really disconnected from those important beliefs, and I guess that's where I speak into the conditioning that we have on. We feel that this kind of medicine is alternative, and it's not. It's the original medicine. So a lot of the pharmaceuticals back in the day drew inspiration from all of these essential oils, and they made synthetic versions, and they could make a lot of money doing this. So, you know, and as that's evolved, it's gone dark there, as that's evolved and we've been born here, that's all the medicine that we really knew, and that's all the medicine that perhaps our parents knew as well. So that's why we think that's first and foremost. So it's really beautiful to see everybody, and I just did a post today because of how much you're sharing these oils and this, you know, amazing lifestyle with everybody else. We're really getting back to where we need to be, and it's beautiful and centering. And you know, we do have like a trillion cells flowing through our body, and every single cell in the middle of it has an engine, and that engine is called a mitochondria. And the only thing that feeds that engine is fruits and vegetables, enzymes, antioxidants, nutrients. So if you could imagine how many fruits and veg you're eating in a day, or how many foods you're pulling from the pantry, which we call dead foods and live foods, so acidic foods and alkaline foods, then you'll get a little bit of an idea of perhaps where your body's pH is. And I think I'll stop there, but I'm definitely interested in doing some workshops and speaking into this more. It's definitely a huge passion of mine, and that's why I studied the regeneration and detoxification and the cellular status, and to speak into DNA. So if anybody's really interested in learning a little bit more about their body and going a little bit deeper with some body love and on the physical level, I'm definitely really interested in coming along and supporting and speaking at that for you. I just quickly, before, I don't want to hold you up too long, but I do want to speak into grapefruit because it's really beautiful and it smells divine. On that note, I'm just going to open it up. It's quite sweet. It's gorgeous in our aromatic dressing blends. I do want to speak into this on the emotional level. GG, EFG. So I've got grapefruit, the oil of honouring the body. Grapefruit teaches true respect and appreciation for one's physical body. It supports individuals who struggle to honour their physical body, which are a lot of us at times, and I guess honouring it is really gifting it the foods that it requires, who struggle to honour their physical body and are caught in patterns of mistreatment, so obviously feeding the taste buds instead of the body. These forms of abuse may include severe dieting, judging one's body weight or type, and abusing the body through negligent behaviour or violence. These acts are often motivated by hate and disgust buried within the psyche and DNA, which gets directed towards the physical body. Though the individual may obsess over how they look, deep down they never feel that they look good enough. There is a dissatisfaction that persists. Grapefruit oil is often misused in overly strict dietary and weight loss programs. The reason this oil helps curb emotional eating is because it encourages a positive relationship with one's physical body based on love, tolerance and acceptance, and I'd like to speak into that a bit more and just say it does teach us a little bit more understanding, because when we actually apply it to our body, and if we're doing it in an aromatic dressing way where we're activating the lymphatic system as we go, we're really starting to understand the body and we're starting to feel the love that we've gifted through the grapefruit. And when we're feeling that love and that connection with our body, we really don't want to go and put dead foods in our body, which contribute to acidosis. So where am I? Grapefruit encourages integrity by respecting one's physical needs. This oil assists an individual in listening to their true physical needs and impulses. So it could speak into a little bit of addictions there as well. It also assists one in taking responsibility for what they feel. Grapefruit teaches that no amount of food can fill a hole in the heart, only love can do that. So I guess a lot of us do eat due to our emotions and how we're feeling, we can kind of, reach for different foods that may not be honouring the body. It also teaches that no amount of food can fill a hole in the heart, only love can do that. As individuals take ownership of their feelings and they get the help they need in addressing them, they no longer have the need to hide their feelings behind food. So I just spoke into that, but it was coming up anyway. Body abuse, strict regimes, eating disorders, or other forms of addictions. So the negative emotions that it treats is hate for the body. And hate is a really strong word, but I guess it's a really big umbrella. Addiction to food or dieting, eating disorders, anxiety, and over-appearance. Positive properties, we really gain a solid respect for the body when we're using this oil, and we're also meeting our physical needs by doing so. We also, I guess it encourages and invites a lot of body acceptance in, and then we start to get a little bit curious, and because we're feeling that oil work, we're kind of reaching for other ones, and then choices exterior to the oils to honour the body as well. And that could purely be just not using any moisturizers on our body anymore. We could be using the oils and aromatically dressing. The body will also feel extremely nourished, and then it's going to ignite a healthy relationship with food. So that's my afternoon. That's what I'm about to do. And if you have these two oils, definitely include the grapefruit in your aromatic dressing this afternoon. I could quickly go to it in here. I was just going to say something else and I've lost my train of thought. Oh, you can also, EFG, you can also pop a little bit of grapefruit in your water as well. So the top uses on a physical level is weight and cellulite, and you can do that internally in water or in a capsule and apply to the areas of concern to break down and wash away the fat. It also, you hydrate as well a lot when you're doing this. Addictions and sugar cravings. Now I've heard it does curb those a lot. I haven't actually used it specifically for that, and I try not to reach for a lot of sugary foods. I do have my breakouts, especially at certain times of the month, but I try and work on that area a lot as it is. Oily skin and acne. So I know Natasha's spoken into grapefruit being amazing for our skin as well. Detoxification, yes. So apply topically to the bottoms of the feet, and I guess we apply there because we have over 2,000 pores on the bottom of our feet, so it gets straight into the bloodstream. And we can also take internally with water for an overall detox. The lymphatic and kidney cleansing, so it just tells us how to take it there. Breast and uterine health and progesterone balance, which is a really big one. So anybody that is quite imbalanced in that area, that might be an oil for you to reach for. Adrenal fatigue. I think us as mums all have adrenal fatigue. It's not something to regenerate easy. I've been working on my adrenals for probably a solid 2 years now, and I've definitely noticed a huge difference. I do use a lot of herbs from the doctor that I studied with, and I don't do it consecutively because they're quite powerful. I'm always rubbing the basil on my adrenals for a little bit of support each month as well. But yeah, there's lots of different protocols that we can support our adrenals with, but as far as regeneration goes, it is quite an aggressive ritual, I guess, that we have to sort of, really dig deep on. And I feel like it's still really important to honor the body and really acknowledge this fatigue if we're experiencing it, because as I was speaking into the DNA passing on to our children and us receiving it from our mothers and grandmothers, etc., if we don't repair and regenerate our weakened glands and genes, then when we have our children, they have it as well. And that's why I decided to go and study all of this, because I guess I started to really awaken to the condition of my body 4 years ago. And I was on an extremely acidic diet. I had no relationship with food whatsoever. If I did, it was really negative. And I guess from all of that, I then got physical symptoms like hormonal imbalance and Cellular's an IVF baby, estrogen dominance, really low progesterone, adrenal fatigue, depression, anxiety. I've experienced all of those. And to me, if we do go and see a doctor, they treat those symptoms. And I just got it. Like, I was like, no, that's not what you do. So I really dug deep into the cells and the endocrine system. And I've eliminated all of those. The hormones with Claricalm has really pulled all of that back in. And I just wish I had have known about that before I had Cellular. And also, the anxiety, the balance really serves me well there, but also my food, my relationship with food needs to be on par for me not to experience that. And definitely no sign of depression since my relationship with food began 4 years ago. And really work on your bodies, and especially those women that haven't had babies yet and do plan on doing so. The more you honor your body with these oils in between now and when you have your baby, the better condition that baby's going to be in. So it's definitely all worth it. Gallstones and gallbladder support as well, and to take that internally with geranium as well. Hangover. So this could be a good one, mentioning it on a Friday for those that are about to have a few drinkies. Take internally in a capsule to ease the hangover symptoms. Emotional balance. Use aromatically, topically from divided to validated. Emotional balance. Use aromatically and topically to get from divided to validated. So many prescription drugs contain a warning against grapefruit. However, the essential oil is very different and very safe, which is good to know. The top properties of grapefruit. It's a diuretic, an antioxidant, an antiseptic, an astringent, an antitoxic, which is amazing. It's a purifier and an expectorant. This oil is also found in the massage blend, the invigorating blend, and the metabolic blend. And it also blends well with basil, peppermint, and rosemary. So those with adrenal fatigue, and we all have it because we put our body under so much pressure, and pregnancy is a lot. So any mum that has multiple children definitely has some level of adrenal fatigue. You could be mixing the grapefruit with the basil and really just kind of, massaging it in there for some extra treats. Hope you all have a good weekend, and thank you for listening. Bye-bye.